Yeah, what's going on? So everybody, it's a beautiful day until the snow comes, that is. But nonetheless, we're gonna make the best we can out of everything because that's what we do here at GSNJ Radio. We're at Heartthrob Music Studios, and we got a special guest in the building today, Jersey's own Big Ooh.
What up, though?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm chilling, man. Happy to be here.
That's definitely what it is. Now, from my understanding, you're coming here from somewhere else. From where you coming from?
Yeah, I'm coming from Baltimore. We was doing handling some business down in Baltimore, moving around, moving and shaking. You already know.
That's definitely what it is. So salute to you and the team. You know what I mean. You definitely came down here just to have your interview with GSNJ Radio, and you know what I mean. We've been wanting to interview you for a while, so that's definitely what it is. We appreciate you more than you know. We gonna start not at the beginning, but we gonna kind of take it back to the beginning, and I'm gonna start this interview off by asking you, what inspired you to start making music in the beginning?
Just being around music, being a fan of music. You know, mom playing that soulful music coming up in the crib early on. My pop playing like a lot of '70s funk and jazz, and my grandfather playing music. You know, that type of thing.
So you kind of get it from the essence of being around family, and it was around you. You liked what you heard, and it just kind of hit you, struck a chord, or made you feel like this is what I want to do.
You know, like Sunday morning cleaning up, Luther Vandross playing in the crib, Anita Baker playing in the crib, that type of thing. I go to my pop crib on the weekend. He playing Curtis Mayfield and Will Downing. So then I seen Notorious B.I.G. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I need to do right here. You know what I mean? And ever since then, we just started off freestyling turned into creating records, and it's just been a passion of mine ever since.
That's definitely what it is. And I see that you've been rapping for over 10 years now, which is, you know, no short accomplishment because from the I went to your YouTube channel.
Right.
And, you know, I've been following you for a minute anyway,
Right.
at least, 7, 8 years. So
Right.
I'm a fan and aware of everything that you've
That's
had
love,
going
bro.
on. But you started over 10 years ago. And when you first made your first video or first record, it was like a freestyle. And then you said, okay, I'm good at this. I think I'm going to start taking it seriously. Or?
Yeah. I mean, what it was like my cousins used to always freestyle, so we would be in the park freestyle in the summertime, and my man used to be crazy with it. My man Lil D used to be crazy with it, so I used to always see how the girls react to him when he was freestyling. He was killing it. I'm like, man, I got to do that. You know what I mean? But mine wasn't really coming together like that. We used to sit on the porch, write rhymes all night. It was just a process, and then I linked up with a couple other guys, and we used to freestyle. And I ain't had no records, and it was just time to start getting some original content. And it's just been grinding ever since, man. It don't even seem like, you blink your eyes, man, it'll be years going by. You know
Time
what I mean?
flies, absolutely.
Yeah, it's time flying,
But,
man.
you know, they say when you love what you do, it's not necessarily work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
so
true.
It definitely could be like that, and especially in this industry, it's a fun industry, it's a grinding industry,
Right.
Nonetheless, and it takes a lot of hard work. A lot of the consumers, the fans, the people listening right now, shout out to y'all. They see a song come out on iTunes, Spotify, however it may reach them,
Right.
and they don't understand the process that goes
Right.
behind making
Absolutely.
that one song, let alone
Absolutely.
a project. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. I mean, like, I'm real tedious with recording. Like, anybody that knows me know we record a record. I sit with it, listen to it. I might go back, change lines, add stuff in the hook. Then we got to get the beat tracked out. Then you got to get it mixed and mastered. Then you go back and forth with the engineer about the mix, change this, change that. Then you get the artwork done. Then you shoot the video. It's a process, man. People, they digest music so fast, but when you realize the work and the energy and the time, effort, and money that goes into it, it's definitely a process. It makes you appreciate it a lot more.
Well, you know what I'll say from a fan's perspective is, and I'm not your ordinary fan. A lot of the fans that are into stuff right now, or the younger generation, is that
Right.
him.
Right.
But what I like about your music is the substance. So I can listen to a song 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, and every time it catches me a little bit different because I'm learning something new because there's layers in the lyrics,
Right.
there's content there,
Right.
And you know what I mean. That's dope. And I'm one of the types of fans to where I'm going to research stuff.
Right.
I'm going to look up bars and
Right.
the connections into stuff. So your music definitely got good substance, and I like where you take it. And it's easy to listen to, but it's also you gotta understand music or bars to understand that there's another meaning into what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of triple entendres, man. You know what I
Right.
mean? I always believed in I came up fans of a lot of lyricists, and it was a time where I used to get the Source magazines, and we would reap out the hip hop quotables, and I would study them
I
joints.
remember that, right?
You know what I mean? I would put them on the wall in the room, you know, and I just was like, damn, yo, these dudes is putting these words together crazy, like Big Pun versus Jadakiss versus Nas, Jay, you know, half a mil, and I just was always like, you know, if I'm gonna do it, you know, the devil's in the detail. I gotta make sure mine is gonna be at this level or higher. So that's just always the energy I go into the studio with. I want to be ranked amongst the greats. I want people to be like, yo, that kid big. Oh, dope, man. He remind me of, as long as they compare me to somebody great, I don't mind. You know what I mean? And that's just the energy I take into the studio every time I go in.
That's positive. Now, you know, I got my questions lined up, and they're in
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 order.
Right.
But I don't usually do interviews in the order of the questions. So you said when you go into a studio in another interview, that's when you start listening to beats. You don't even listen to beats outside of the studio.
Yeah, I try not to, unless it's like somebody like my man, like somebody like Sap just hit me and was like, yo, you still working on your tape? And, for those that don't know, Sap is from Delaware. He lives in L.A. He did a Nipsey Hussle intro on Nipsey's last album. He's done a lot of stuff with Meek. You know, a lot of people. He's done Jordan, new single. But it's my guy, though. And he texted me like, yo, I'm about to send you 5 beats right now. I listen to his joints ASAP. Cardiac hit me and be like, yo, I'm about to send you a zip folder. I listen to them ASAP. But I get so many beats for the most part. I don't like listening to beats at the crib because I don't have it set up at the crib. And I was just telling my pop that I'm like, yo, I'm about to put the studio in a new spot. That way when I'm getting beats that's crazy, my initial energy, I could just jump right in on them. Because sometimes, like, I heard Rico Love say this, I heard Kanye say this, and it's true. The hit is in the initial energy. The things that comes to you the first time you hear the beat for the first time, that's usually the it. And when you try to recreate that, sometimes you can't recreate that energy. So if I get a beat from you today and I'm like, and I jump right on it with an idea, but I don't have a studio session until Thursday, I'm trying to recreate that vibe all over again versus me going right on it with that initial energy.
Which definitely makes, you know, perfect sense. That initial energy and the way that it comes off is important because that's the vibe.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of times you might see, if you look at like footage of Kanye, like I'm real like a student of the game. I look at like footage of artists recording in their process and try to take something from it. And I remember being in the studio with Jordan. He used to just walk in the booth and just mumble things, just mumble whatever he felt like when he heard the beat. And my man Louis V. Gutter did that, and I seen Kanye does it too. He say he just hears the beat and mumbles what he feels, and then he goes back and layers the lyrics on him to match. You know what I mean? And I took that vibe from him, and that's what I do too. I just try to take the initial energy to the beat, but I like to be in the studio and hear the beats loud.
Okay, that's definitely good dope. And that makes sense. You know, your music is unique in itself, and you're a Jersey artist, so, you know, we got our own swag out here. Anyway,
Right, absolutely. That's a fact.
Where does the name come from? Now, I know Fifth Ave, Big O, and on Instagram, you know,
Five Boy
_
O.
O. Where does it come from?
Five Boy, that's our whole like squad, Fifth Ave boys. So it's just like our whole squad got 5 Boy in front of their name.
I noticed
You
that
know what I mean?
people got it.
Yeah, so it's like it's about 20 of us on there. We all 5 Boy, 5 Boy Chromie, 5 Boy Tweez, 5 Boy Cam, 5 Boy Boot, 5 Boy Bobby Austin, 5 Boy Splash Gordon. It's a gang of us, 5 Boy Mills, but that's just the squad. You know, we just repping.
Now, that's the block that you came from.
Yeah, well, the block is EA, but 5 Boy is just that's just like our crew. You know what I mean? It's just like Jay-Z had Rockefeller, or you know what I mean? Beans had State Property. 5 Boy is just like our squad.
Now, is that where the management comes from, or y'all just make music?
Yeah, we just make music. This is like my everyday circle, though. It ain't even like music base. Yeah, right, but
Facts.
like, you know, it's just like the squad.
Now, you had an early album. You had a bunch of good albums that came out. You had God First. You had Fifth Ave Boys, which is where the question came from.
Yeah.
You had We Do It For Ya. You had the 10 Tones Down. You had Team Ya.
Yeah.
I noticed you have like I don't know if it's a God theme or a religious theme,
Mm-hmm.
or can you explain that to me, where it comes from, the basis of that?
Yeah, well, God First, all I see is the money. I did that with Don Cannon almost like, that shit almost like 10 years ago. When I did that project, I had just got shot. So that was like, it was a whole nother mindset in itself. Like, you know what I mean? Where like I was just mentally. And I always been spiritual. Like, I'm born Muslim, so I always been religious. That always been a part of me. Like my new project getting ready to drop is called God Talk. And it's just like, you know, it's just a vibe. It's just what I feel like. We've been through so much. We done lost so many people we love. been
That's
through
a
so
fact.
many things, and you know what I mean, continue to overcome things. And I know it's not just me; it's coming from a higher power. You understand what I'm saying? So just acknowledging that and just putting that good energy in the universe and knowing it comes back around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's definitely positive, and that's a message that our listeners can take away from as well. You got to keep it positive. You got to keep this positive fin, but you got to keep your faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to keep your faith.
You got to. That's all you got. You lose that, you lose yourself.
Now you've got a project with OT the Real. I'm not sure if it's in the making or if it's coming up. It's called
Oh
The Five.
man, yeah, man. OT the real, man. OT the real from Philly. That white boy special, man.
Yo, when I heard that y'all was doing a project, my mind was blown.
Hey, yo, you know what's crazy? I can't even take the credit for that. OT just hit me one day out the blue. I was getting ready to go to Miami, and he hit me and was like, yo, bro, let's lock in and just do a tape. And I was like, come on, bro. And OT, man, OT, that's my guy. Outside of music, he just a good dude. We always ran into each other, and there was always a mutual respect there. We banged the tape out fast. Matter of fact, we got the video premiere.
it's done?
Yeah, the tape done. The tape drops Friday, March 8th. We got the video premiering on BET Jams March 8th. And we getting ready to go on this little tour, too.
That's awesome, bro. Congratulations on that. And I can't wait to hear it because I think I only heard one record from it, and it was fire. It's the joint you did the video to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That joint was a freestyle joint. That was a Meek joint. We just did that as a teaser, to get people warmed up. But we got the whole tape is all original. You know what I mean? Shout to the First Dons. Shout to Dougie on the beat. Shout to Thoroughbred, Sonic Militia. We got some crazy joints on there. It's called The Five. It'll be dropping Friday, March 8th. The video, Figure It Out, directed by Rock Davis, premieres on BET Jams this Friday, March 8th. We working. OT, what up, though, Slick?
And you know what? We definitely going to share that. So I got to find out where the media is for that so we could be sure to share it on our stories and networks and all that good stuff because we rocking with it. I cannot wait to hear that whole project.
Yeah.
What you said, where does it come out again?
It's going to be on all digital platforms.
Everything.
At 12 midnight, yep.
Okay, so we'll be able to download it right there, stream it, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Everybody listen, I want y'all, as soon as it turns 12 o'clock, 12:01, 12:02, by 12:03, y'all need to be streaming it, listening to it, downloading it, sharing it, all that good stuff because this is what we're missing, in music is this substance, this raw ability to just get on the mic and go hard and create that content that is relatable, but it's also not the simple bubblegum stuff. Y'all coming with bars. Bars. I got to say it again. Bars.
We going crazy on that joint, you hear me? We going crazy on that joint.
Now, we're going to take a little intermission in a couple minutes, but before we do that, I gotta know, Keys Open Doors.
Yeah.
How did that concept come about? Because the record is crazy. The video is even crazier.
Yeah.
And the vibe is even crazier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shout to DJ Riley, a producer from Trenton. Shout to my brother Chromie. I'm going to keep it real, man. Riley, I went over to Riley Crib with one of the old heads from around the way, and he was trying to put a compilation together, like all the artists from around the way. And Riley played me that beat, and I was like, yo. He was like, yo, I got something for you, ooh. He played me that beat. I said, yo, send that to me right now. And I threw the beat up on the gram, and I was just putting some verses together in the studio, but I was just vibing. And I was wrapping up a tape, 10 Toes Down 3 at the time. That was like the last song I wrapped up. And I had the verse open. I called my brother Chrome. And one thing about Chrome, anybody know Chrome, you only going to get like one verse a year from Chrome. You know what I mean? And he came through. He leaned on that joint with Crazy. My man Ace McLeod, you know what I mean? Talked on the intro of it. Diego Gordon shot the video. That joint going crazy. Like, it's crazy because that joint like 2.5, almost like 3 years old. But it's just not, we just put the video out. The response I'm getting so crazy from that joint. I'm performing that joint. People starting to know the words. Like,
absolutely.
That joint going crazy, bro.
You was at, I think, the Jim Jones joint.
Yeah.
That there?
Yeah.
Bro, half the crowd knew it.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, that joint, that's crazy. It's just a vibe, man. Like, everybody I hear that joint. Like, Alamo pulled me to the side and was like, yo, that's the one, bro. That's the energy right there. I'm like, yeah, we just gonna push it then. You know what I mean?
Said, the energy, the vibe is crazy, and the record itself is dope. And then, like I said, every step is a level up. The video and just the energy, the way that you feel coming off of it. Like, I've run to it. I've had my little 10-year-olds soccer practice, edit it and then run with it and rock with it, and they all like it.
That's love,
so
man.
It's just a dope record. But all your music, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just real particular with the beats I pick. As far as rapping to him, when I heard that beat right there, like anytime a producer play me a beat and they make me stand up, I know it's something special. Like, As soon as that
That's the
joint
key
came
signal,
on, I'm
standing
like,
up.
I'm like, send me that right now. Like, I am not leaving till you email me that joint. And shout to Riley, shout to Chromie. You know what I mean? That's definitely getting a lot of love on that joint. Keys open doors, man.
Who put that video together?
Diego Gordon,
Okay.
a video director out of Trenton. Yep, he doing a lot of good work. Real dope, real dope.
The smoke effect was crazy.
Yeah, nah, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. He another level. Like in another 12 months, he gonna be something real special. Like, you know what I mean?
You can say it.
He brought it to
That
like,
flicker effect and the way he transitioned some of them joints.
And, you know, it's crazy because when we was doing the last scene, he was like, "Yeah, bro, Chrome, I need you to put the straight jacket on this mask." And me and Chrome was just laughing, like, "Yo, you tripping?" Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But he had a vision for it, man. And I mean, it's a blessing, man, just to have people come on board and want to invest their time and energy into and they believe in what you're doing, and at the same time, you know, they bringing something to the table too to enhance it. You know what I mean? And we recorded the record. The record came out dope, but the visual took the record to a whole nother level.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Even from the trailer, like he had a joint from back in the day that they used in Belly in the trailer. It was just a whole the whole setup. Yeah, he did his thing, man. He definitely did his thing on that joint. Now, I mean, check for him. You need some video work done at Diego Gordon on Instagram. That's my guy, man.
Yeah, definitely shout out to him, and anybody that's looking for a video, definitely go check him out.
Believe that. Shout out to my girl Dom too. She played her part in that joint. She was looking real good in that joint.
And that reminded me of Belly, her part right there.
Word up. That was love, man. Word up.
We about to get into the record. Everybody, remember doing this joint with DZ?
Everybody. Shout out to my man DZ. Just came home. Shout out to the Carter. You already know, man. Trenton stand up. 609 versus everybody. DZ, what up, though, Slick?